Another week, another video, another race, and another opportunity for drivers out there that are struggling to prove themselves. This weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series is going to be heading out west for the final time to race at the Phoenix Raceway. And what I mean by final time is there's a West Coast swing at the beginning of the year. You go to Auto Club, go to Vegas, and you end it in Phoenix and go to Atlanta for the East Coast races. And that's what I mean by last race. But this Sunday, you get the United Rentals 500, and it's not 500 miles, it's 500 kilometers, but it's 312 miles because it's a mile long and they're racing around the track 312 times. So that's how it works out. But today I'm going to give y'all my predictions on how things will play out there, but also review this past week's Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix because it was very exciting, much more exciting than the Cup race at Las Vegas, which was a very big disappointment in my opinion. I thought it was going to be spectacular racing, and it was kind of mid and boring. And stuff like that's going to happen. We've been spoiled in the past to so many good races. Stuff happens, and that was an instance right there of a bad race. NASCAR move on. There's not much to criticize them about because stuff like that is going to happen in this sport. But on top of that all, I'm going to do a pick 5 contest. Same rules as always. So comment them down below your top 5. Who knows who may win a prize. And on to the intro we go.
Hey, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. here at Kroger, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
This past weekend, the Formula One World Championship Series kicked off their 2023 season out in Bahrain. You can see the running order there, but I'm just wanting to hit on some key notes. At the beginning of the race, you had a Red Bull lockout front row from qualifying. Verstappen in first, Perez in second. However, at the start, neither of the two really got away well, but Perez, since he was in second, he was more under pressure, I guess you can say, because he was starting behind him. And Leclerc had a phenomenal start from third place and got by Perez and was side by side with Verstappen in the one, but Verstappen had the preferred line, so he ran away with it, and he did not look back. He led a lot of laps, and he won the race. But throughout the race, though, we saw Leclerc hold on to second. As soon as he lost second to third, he was just trying to manage a podium. And he was getting closer as the laps were winding down, had a mechanical failure and blew up. And his day ended in a DNF. And all the hopes and dreams of a podium were relying on Carlos Sainz for Ferrari. And his tire degradation was much worse than expected, and he lost a lot of ground. He got passed by Fernando Alonso from Aston Martin, and Fernando Alonso got on the podium for the 99th time in his career. And I believe Aston Martin's got a car that is capable of winning a Grand Prix this year. But where will it be? Next race out is Saudi Arabia, and what's Aston Martin really good at? High-speed corner tracks, and that's all Saudi Arabia right there. So they're going to be up front, and I believe Ferrari will be back. And I know people want to say, same team, different year, but you got to think about it here. Last year they had Mattia Binotto as their team principal. He let things slide, and it got old after a while. That's why he moved on from him. Fred Vasseur came in, and we know from his past at Alfa Romeo, he's not going to let things slide and slide and slide. He's going to put an end to it. And if that means he has to make some tough decisions down the line, so be it. He's going to get this team in the right direction moving forward. Just give him some time, preferably towards the summer break. I think after that is all fair play after that. But yeah, you had Verstappen, Perez, and Alonso on the podium, and we saw Sainz, Hamilton, Stroll had a great day. Really did. And a big fraud with George Russell. I thought he would do much better. Valtteri Bottas, Pierre Gasly, and we saw Alex Albon getting points. But besides that, McLaren struggled, so did AlphaTauri, Zhou Guanyu, and the Haas struggled as always. But on to NASCAR we go. It was a great race. There is no need to really talk about this past weekend in Las Vegas because it sucked. It was a big disappointment. But moving on to Phoenix, there's a lot of things to keep a close eye on, like for instance, right now NASCAR Cup Series is 3 for 3 for different winners, and he had Stenhouse in the 500, Kyle Busch in Auto Club, Byron in this past weekend in Las Vegas, and what all three of them drivers have in common. Take a guess. You guessed it right. They are a Chevy driver. And does the trend continue this weekend in Phoenix where a Chevy driver goes to victory lane? I don't think so. I really don't. I think they're going to actually struggle. I think they're going to be off the pace. But I may be wrong. But I believe the winner of this Sunday's race at the Phoenix Raceway is going to be Kevin Harvick. I believe his second final race out here is going to be a phenomenal one, and he's going to go get the checker flag and punch his ticket, I can get my words out of here, into the NASCAR Cup Series playoff for the 2023 season. But finishing runner-up to him, though, is going to be the 12 car of Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney has been criticized so many times in the past, but more so like recently because he's being under consideration for the 4 seat vet. He's a B-tier driver. He can't handle pressure. He can't do good hard times, but so on. I think he's going to turn his things around and prove a lot of haters wrong with a runner-up finish in Phoenix this Sunday. Third place, though, is going to be Joey Logano. I believe after that DNF out in Las Vegas, he's going to come out here really motivated and wanting to score many stage points, and on top of that all, a great result in the final race, in the final stage. But P4, though, is going to be Denny Hamlin. He's always a factor. No matter how bad Toyota is, he's always going to be up there. He makes a way, and that's what makes him a great driver. He always finds himself in the mix, and you can never count him out. But rounding out my top 5, though, is going to be Tyler Reddick. He is also really good, like Hamlin. He's always up front in the mix. This past week in Las Vegas, he wasn't really necessarily the fastest car on track, but he tried out different things, made up a lot of ground, ripping the top line, hit the wall, and that pretty much knocked him out of contention. But there you go. Harvick, Blaney, Logano, Hamlin, and Reddick. And my dark horse is Chase Briscoe, the winner from last year. He's been sucking lately. Hopefully he can turn things around. Please like and subscribe.